Today we're going to be talking about the Black Rifle Coffee Company. This is an early stage, high growth coffee company and lifestyle brand in the United States that was founded by a veteran and committed to supporting US veterans. It's in the process of going public with a SPAC called Silverbox Engaged Merger Corp 1, ticker SBEA. And full disclosure, I do have a position in the SBEA warrants. In this video, I'm first going to give a high-level overview of Black Rifle Coffee. Second, I'm going to go over my bull case for the stock. Third, I'm going to go over my bear case. And finally, I'm going to go over my game plan for investing in this SPAC. All of this right after. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Learn to invest like a wolf at your own risk. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, Wolves of Investing. My name is Donnie Nguyen and I'm the founder of Wolves of Investing. If you're new, my channel is primarily about investing for growth. If you want to learn how to achieve financial freedom through investing, be sure to click on that subscribe button and notification bell if you haven't yet. And please remember to drop a like on this video if you enjoy it, as it truly helps out the channel. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The Black Rifle Coffee Company was founded by Evan Hafer in his garage in Salt Lake City in 2014. In 2015, their first full year, they generated revenues of $1.3 million in direct-to-consumer sales from his garage, which is incredible. Hafer is the CEO of Black Rifle. He was also a member of the Special Forces Unit of the US Army, also known as the Green Beret. And he served over 2 decades of deployments with the military and the CIA. Some of the other company executives are also veterans. Tom Davin, the co-CEO, is a former Marine captain. Toby Johnson, the chief operating officer, is a West Point graduate, former Army captain, and an Apache pilot. The company is called Black Rifle Coffee Company as a tribute to the black rifles they all carried during combat tours. Veterans from many generations have carried black rifles. The company has a trademark for America's coffee and takes pride in its coffee being roasted in the USA, its company being veteran controlled, and having around 50% of its employees being veterans or veteran spouses. Black Rifle has 4 major lines of business. First is their direct-to-consumer business, where customers can buy Black Rifle coffee and have it shipped to their door. This includes coffee beans, ground coffee, K-cups, or as they call it, rounds, and other merchandise. Customers can even set up a coffee subscription. This line of business has over 270,000 active coffee club subscribers. Their LTV to CAC ratio, or customer lifetime value to customer acquisition cost ratio, is over 4x. Based on 5 minutes of Google searching, I found that an ideal ratio is around 3x, and anything over 3x generally means that the company has enough room to increase their marketing spend. And their average at-home coffee spend per purchase is $22. The second line of business is what they call Outposts, which is basically their version of a coffee shop with a drive-thru. These Outposts have around $12 to $13 per check, a mix of around 48% merchandise to 52% beverage and food sales. What this metric is supposed to highlight is that they're more than just a coffee company, that their customers buy merch because there is an emotional connection to their brand. The Outpost estimated cash-on-cash return is over 45%, and the cost to build is around $1.4 million, which excludes pre-opening costs of around $100,000. Their average unit volume, or AUV, is around $2.5 million, which compares favorably against other food retailers. Their four-wall margin is around 25%, which also compares favorably against other food retailers. This line of business just started in 2020 with 4 outposts. It's expected to have 16 outposts this year, with 8 of them being franchised and the other 8 being corporate owned. They are projecting 78 outposts by 2023, with the bigger portion of them being corporate owned. The third line of business is their ready-to-drink business. They just started this line of business around 18 months ago and have scaled it from 0 to around 33,000 distribution doors. Even in that short amount of time, all 4 SKUs are in the top 30 ready-to-drink SKUs, and it's become a top 4 brand in the coffee/energy category, according to their management's research as of August 2021. The fourth line of business is their wholesale coffee and merch products at select partner chains, such as 511, Cabela's, Bass Pro Shops, and Exchange. Now that we've looked at what the company does, let's take a look at some of the financials. In 2019, they had $82 million in revenue. That grew to $164 million in 2020. And in 2021, they expect to make $230 million. Their goal is to get to $430 million by the end of 2023. Their current revenue mix is 84% direct to consumer, 14% wholesale, which includes ready to drink, and 2% outposts. I'm not sure why they combined ready to drink with wholesale. I would have preferred to have that separated out. Their target mix goal by the end of 2023 is 46% direct to consumer, 33% wholesale, and 21% outposts. This slide shows their expansion plans in the 4 different lines of business through 2023. They're also expanding their CapEx to support their growth. CapEx in 2021 is expected to be $20 million, and they're projecting it to be $54 million in full year 2023. Their long-term goals are 30% revenue growth, 45% gross margin, and 20% EBITDA margin. Now let's look at the SPAC transaction overview. At $10 per share, assuming no redemptions, the pro forma market cap is expected to be $1.914 billion. Pro forma net cash is expected to be $203 million, which makes an enterprise value of $1.711 billion. There's also a backstop structure that will help the deal go through even if there are SPAC redemptions. The company will be reorganized as a public benefit corporation. SBEA and Black Rifle will also donate over 530,000 shares to the BRCC Foundation to support veterans. There are 20 million earnout shares to existing Black Rifle shareholders, and around 1.2 million founder shares will be canceled at closing, and instead there will be 1.2 million founder shares subject to earnout. Half the earnouts will be earned if the stock price goes to $15 or higher for 20 out of 30 trading days within a 5-year period. And the other half is earned if it goes to $20 or higher for 20 out of 30 trading days within a 7-year period. Black Rifle founders and management will own 45%. Other existing Black Rifle shareholders will own 23%. SBEA shareholders will own 18%. The forward purchase agreement and PIPE investors will own 10%, and SBEA sponsor and Black Rifle Foundation will own 3%. Now, I didn't go over every single page of the investor presentation, but I encourage you to check it out yourself if you're interested. I'll leave a link to it in the video description. So what is my bull case for the stock? Starting with 2021 estimated revenues of $230 million, I'm going to use a 30% CAGR going to 2026. That gives me revenues of $854 million. To give myself a margin of safety, I'm going to round down to $800 million. Starbucks has a PS ratio of around 4.5. Because I consider Black Rifle an early stage growth company, I'm going to estimate a PS ratio of around 10x. That gives me a market cap of $8 billion in 5 years. Assuming no share dilution and 191.4 million shares outstanding, that gives me a share price of around $42 in 5 years. SBEA is around $10.10, so that would be a return of 300% in 5 years. What is my bear case? In my bear case, I'm only going to give them around 15% revenue CAGR and a 5x PS ratio. That gives me 2026 revenues of around $463 million and a market cap of around $2.3 billion for a share price of around $12 and total growth of only 18%. So what is my game plan? I live in a state where there's not a lot of brand awareness for Black Rifle Coffee. So this is the first I've ever heard of them. I decided to buy some coffee from their website and I like it. Based on what I'm seeing so far, I'm leaning more towards the bull case than the bear case. Although I like what I see, I don't consider this one of my highest conviction investments, so I'm keeping this very small at this time. Definitely less than 1% of my entire stock portfolio. As I mentioned earlier, I decided to buy some warrants and got in at $2.06. My plan is to sell the warrants if they reach at least $4. If the warrants tank to say $1.25 or less, then I may consider buying more, assuming I still believe in my bull thesis. This is just my current plan, of course. I may veer from this plan at any time for any reason, so always be sure to do your own research and come up with your own plan. Warrants, of course, are risky and complicated for most investors, as they can expire worthless after 5 years, and there are multiple moving targets where they can get redeemed before the 5 years and become pretty much worthless. But if you want to know more about warrants, be sure to watch this video I made, SPAC Warrant Basics for Beginners, where I answer a lot of questions that my viewers have asked me. As for the stock, I'm not that interested in buying and holding past the merger at this time, but something to consider as a short-term pre-business combination trade at its current price of around $10.10. The $10 SPAC floor offers pretty good downside protection prior to the business combination. So even if I just wanted to target $11 or $12, that would be a very good risk-reward trade. Because the SPAC has been trading above $10, in theory, the arbitrage hedge funds, or ARBs, are probably out of this SPAC. The ARBs tend to create selling pressure and resistance right at $10. With the ARBs out, there could be a lot of room for the stock to run prior to merger. Currently, I'm not in that trade, but it's definitely one to consider. Alright, so thank you for making it to the end of my video. If you want more insights into my portfolios, or if you want to just support the channel, be sure to check out my Patreon. A link is in the video description. And as always, a huge thank you to the awesome patrons that have already joined. And also, be sure to check out my free Discord to talk about SPACs and other stocks with other members of the Wolves of Investing community. A link to my free Discord is also in the video description. Alright, so let me know what you think about Black Rifle Coffee Company. Drop me a line in the comments. Be sure to leave a like on this video before leaving. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.